to my channel. So I know it's been a minute since I've done a sit down video, but with the new year around the corner, I know a lot of us are kind of in that mode of planning for our goals and thinking about all the things that we want to accomplish in 2022. So I thought I would create a video today that I know is going to help set so many of you up for success and prepare you for the new year in the best possible way. Today we are talking all about setting your 2022 goals, and I'm going to be sharing some shifts that I've done for myself that have helped me really set and achieve my yearly goals. So if you are someone who is tired of saying new year, new me, only for things to stay the same and for you to not really make those changes that you set out to make, keep on watching. This video is for you. I used to be that person. I know exactly what it feels like to say you're gonna do something, say you're gonna change, and you do absolutely nothing. No judgment, I have been there. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. I like to reflect on what it is that I ended up accomplishing for the year, what I didn't accomplish. I'm gonna break it down a bit in terms of how I actually do that. So, of course, when it comes to goals that I did accomplish, I really like to take time to acknowledge those things that I accomplished, celebrate myself, really just feel proud for being able to achieve whatever it is that I happen to achieve that year. So when it comes to the goals that I didn't accomplish, a mental shift that I made for myself that has made the biggest difference is, instead of labeling those goals as failures or as I didn't achieve them, I like to label them as goals that are still a work in progress. So there are numerous things to take into consideration when you are looking over goals that you didn't technically achieve. What I like to take into consideration is this a bigger life goal that kind of takes time and patience to achieve? Did I make any progress or movement forward towards that goal? Did I do everything possible to actually achieve this goal? Depending on my answers, this is going to help me determine if this goal is just simply still a work in progress or if I need to hold myself accountable. So one of the goals that I set for myself in 2021 was to make X amount of money a month in my business. While I technically didn't hit that goal, I was very, very close to it, but I didn't hit it. I am not labeling it as a fail because I still made progress towards reaching that goal. And so I labeled this goal as a work in progress, not as a fail. I think it's really important that when we're reflecting and we are taking a look at the goals that we didn't hit, we ask ourselves, is this something that I need to hold myself accountable to? Because I know that if I had put in the work, if I didn't allow excuses to get in my way, I could have accomplished this goal. Or is it one of those cases where I did everything that I could and it's simply a work in progress? As much as I think it's important that we give ourselves grace and understanding and compassion, I think it's also important that we hold ourselves accountable, because at the end of the day, no one is going to make your dreams happen except for you. And if you don't put in the work, if you don't stay consistent, if you don't show up for yourself, those things aren't going to happen unless you make it happen. And while I am in the reflection stage of this process, I also like to take a look at what habits helped me move forward this year and what habits held me back. So for me, some of the good habits that really helped me move forward in my life and with my goals this year have been weekly resetting and planning, taking time to kind of get my mind, my soul, my body right every week. Also writing things down, and also having a very solid, consistent morning routine. And some bad habits that I know kind of held me back and now I know I could work on in the new year is not taking care of my mental health, overworking myself, allowing myself to burn out, and comparing myself. So now that I have a clear idea of what to work on, what to keep, it's much easier for me to have those clear intentions as we move forward to the new year. So whether we know it or not, we all have a set of values that we follow and that we live by. And knowing your values is really important, because when we know our values, it guides us to live in alignment to those values. And we can also determine if we are technically on the right track. If you are someone who values family time, spending time with your family, creating your own family, yet you rarely spend time with your family and you're always working or you're always doing other things and you're not focused on nurturing your relationships with your family, that is a sign that you are not living in alignment to your values. If we don't, we kind of just mindlessly go through life without any sense of direction or intention. So if you don't know your values, don't worry, there's a bunch of quizzes online that you can take. I'm actually going to link a very great quiz that I took that really helped me identify my own values. I'll link it in the description bar. Once I was able to see what my values in life were, I could then begin creating my goals around each and every value and making sure that I wasn't leaving anything out. So I'm going to walk you through how I actually set my goals, but before I do that, I want to just share some things when it comes to creating your goals. I really think it's also important to find that balance between being realistic with what is actually achievable within a year. Make sure that the goals that you are creating are aligned to you and are actually what you want. And this is where knowing your values comes into play, because I think a lot of times we create goals for ourselves without actually realizing or understanding why we're setting those goals. Whether it's to start a family or, you know, become a doctor or buy a home or whatever your goals are, I think it's important we ask ourselves why we're setting these goals in the first place. Is it because it's something that I truly want to achieve for myself and have? Or is it because this is what my family tells me that I should want or have for myself? Or because what society says? Or because I see my friends doing this or having this, and so I think that I should have it too? If you don't create goals that you actually want for you, chances are you probably won't feel motivated or inspired to take action on these goals. Or if you do achieve this goal, chances are you might not actually end up being happy once you have it and you realize it isn't actually what you wanted for yourselves. And my last word of advice when it comes to creating your goals is that it's okay to change your mind about your goals. As we grow and evolve as people, so may our desires and our goals and our needs. That is okay. Just because you create a goal for yourself at the beginning of the year, it doesn't mean you have to stick to that goal. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to want different things. It's totally okay. Don't force yourself to go down a path because you feel like, well, I already committed, so I have to see this through. No, you are allowed to change your mind. Okay, so after I go through this 3-step process, now comes the actual goal setting, goal creating part. And if I could say anything, make this fun. You know, get your girlfriends, have a girls' night, have a vision board night where you're just setting your goals. Like, make this a really cute, fun, extra thing to get you inspired for the new year. I did a massive brain dump. I wrote down all of my different values based on the quiz that I took, and under each value I just brain dumped all of these things that I wanted to accomplish and achieve and have, and I just allowed myself to let whatever was coming up for me to come out. And then after I did that massive brain dump session, I looked over my journal and I could kind of see that there were common or similar goals that I repeatedly wrote down. So I basically cleaned up my brain dumping session by grouping similar goals into one. What I like to do after I have very clear, specific goals, I like to add that list of goals in Canva. I like to make it really pretty. That way when I look at them, I'm just inspired to work towards those goals each and every single day. And after I made my list, I also created a vision board, which I have right here. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but so after I created my list, I basically went on Pinterest. I searched up photos that matched the goals that I want to achieve for next year, and I just created my vision board. So I have my vision board, I have my actual goal list that I made on Canva, and I just have that printed out. I have it in my office, and every morning when I'm doing my morning routine, I love to just look at my vision board, look at my goals list, and I'm just reminded every single day, this is what I'm working towards. This is why I wake up every morning, and this is why I work hard, because this is the end result that I'm hoping to achieve. So that is basically my process of how I kind of reset, plan, prepare for my goals for the new year. And of course, this is a process you can use at any time. It doesn't just have to be for the new year. This is just my new year goal setting process that has worked for me for the last few years. And truly, since implementing this process, I've went from being that person who says new year, new me, only for things to be the same, to actually being that person who does does what she says she's going to do. So I hope that you got some great pointers and tips in setting you up for success for the new year. But I would love to hear what your goals are for the new year if you want to leave them in the comments below. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one.